Hey, it is my birthday today. So if you disagree with any of the games I put here, just know it is illegal to be mean to me. If you're watching this the day after it's uploaded on like the 19th or something, I guess I'm free game. But until then, you cannot be mean to me.
There is no meme. This is just a threat.
I love video games. Gotta admit, one of the top 10 things in anything ever. So for my birthday, I was thinking, what do I want to do? Do I want to play a Donkey Kong Country game again? And then I thought, what if I just talk about games that I love? So, this is Topsters. It's a website where you can put in anything. Like right now, I could type in Bubsy. I search Bubsy, there. One of my favorite games of all time is now Bubsy 2. Bubsy 2 is not one of my favorite games of all time, but that's what we're doing here. I'm just going to talk about games that I like, and a lot of them are story-centric JRPGs. I know, shocker for a Fire Emblem channel. So, if you see me start to talk about a game that you're worried about the plot being spoiled for you, just like, I'll have the video cut up into chapters in the bottom. Just skip to the next one. Or get spoiled, so you can hear my taste. It's better than yours, because I have a YouTube channel. Unless you also have a YouTube channel, in which case, we are of equal mind. Alright. So, let's just get this started with my actual favorite game of all time. It came out just last year. I gotta give it to Octopath 2. Octopath Traveler 2 is just a love letter to turn-based JRPGs in the best way possible. The, boost and break system is amazing, even if they stole it from Bravely Default. The story style of having 8 separate stories is actually something I really enjoy. I know a lot of people don't like how there were 8 separate stories in Octopath Traveler that felt disconnected, but I actually liked it's basically just 8 mini JRPGs in one, and I really like that. Octopath Traveler 2 has some phenomenal characters. Throne and Particio are some of the best in Square Enix's library, and then you still have Oswald, Agnia, Casti, Ochette. Like, I love all of them. Except Hikari. I'm admittedly neutral on him, but that's the thing with Octopath. If there's someone I don't really care for, they're loved by someone else. Or someone might not love Throne as much as I do. That's cool. You're wrong, but that's cool. It's just the nature of all these different characters and all these stories that I genuinely love. Combine that with good music, a really fun class system, Octopath Traveler 2 is just so good. I should make a full-on review of it someday just to talk about how much I love this game in particular, but my game reviews typically don't get watched by very many people because no one gives a shit. Which could call into the fact that no one will probably give a shit about this, but I'm hoping that by using my birthday as bait, people will watch it out of pity. Even still, if you love turn-based JRPGs, you owe it to yourself to play Octopath Traveler 2. It is simply phenomenal and worth every penny. It's probably on sale right now somewhere. If you're wondering why I keep looking to my right, I have a stopwatch on, and I cut myself off around 2 minutes for every game, because if I don't, we will be here for 5 hours. Fun fact, there was a scrapped video I was making where I judge all the franchises in Smash Bros. Based on how much I like them. It was purely out of spite, out of all the people that talk about Smash characters without actually playing their franchises. But then I spent like 30 minutes on Sonic the Hedgehog alone, and I needed to scrap that video because it was getting too long. It was like 37 tier list videos in one. Anyways, the second game on this list is what was my favorite game of all time for most of my life until Octopath Traveler 2 dethroned it. And I'm talking about Dragon Quest VIII. Before you ask, yes, my favorite game of all time was a turn-based Square Enix JRPG, and then it got dethroned for a turn-based Square Enix JRPG. I'm a predictable bitch, if nothing else. So, Dragon Quest VIII doesn't do anything revolutionary. Actually, it does. The revolutionary thing that it does is it says, let's do everything JRPGs had been doing for 20 years at this point, and do it better. Its story is not complicated. Nothing you see in the story, none of the beats it goes through are new. But they're done really well. They're written really charmingly. The gameplay is nothing new. It's your standard turn-based Dragon Quest flair. It is incredibly fun. Ode to the monster designs of Akira Toriyama, rest in peace. And the music, fantastic. Dragon Quest VIII, if nothing else, is charming. The monsters are all charming. The characters are all charming. Even the items and weapons are charming. And abilities, the spells. Everything in it is just packed to the brim with love. And because of that, it's tough to really explain why it's so good. Because, if you just look at it for its parts, it's a very basic JRPG. But it's more than the sum of them. Because of the solid voice acting, solid world, solid everything. I replayed this game just this year. Once Akira Toriyama passed away, I went to pay tribute to him. I replayed Dragon Quest VIII, and I still cried at some moments in the plot. It is absolutely incredible. The best character is Yangus. He is peak masculinity, and I will hear no slander. Fun side quests like the Monster Arena, fun world to explore. You really don't need much else. Dragon Quest VIII is a testament to the fact that there's nothing new under the sun, but that doesn't mean you can't still make incredible things. I love this game. Man, I would love to do a Let's Play of that and gush over it, but only 40 people would watch it. This is me celebrating games. Why am I lamenting that I'm a Fire Emblem channel, that no one watches non-Fire Emblem things? That's dumb of me. Just for that, we're putting a Fire Emblem game. Sacred Stones, baby! Why are there two... Why is this image Sacred Stones Plus? That's not even real! Anyways. Sacred Stones. I can't talk much about this game that I haven't talked about already. The main reason I love it is its story and characters more than most other things. Erica and Ephraim are two of my favorite leads in any game ever. Erica specifically is my favorite woman in a JRPG ever, and my third favorite character in video games in general. Maybe fourth, Sonic the Hedgehog's really cool. Regardless, the stories that they go on and the issues that they tackle are fantastic. Leon is my favorite villain in anything ever. Just the tragedy of his character combined with just how the twins interact with them, fantastic. All 30-something of the game's other characters are also amazing. I love Seth, I love Franz, I love Gilliam, I love Mulder, I love Vanessa, Kyle, Ford, Serene, Joshua, Garrick, just all of them. With a solid cast that really got me hooked into JRPG writing. This, and another game that I'll talk about later, really grabbed me by the balls and made me say, you are going to absolutely love bittersweet writing. Because Sacred Stones is not a very happy game. A lot is terrible for it, but the characters persevere because a better future is possible. And the gameplay is also really good. It is easy, but that doesn't really bother me because the class variety is a lot of fun. The monster designs are really cool. It's a short game, so it's infinitely replayable. I think that's part of Fire Emblem's problem, is it likes to have long games that are replayable. So just 20-some chapters for Sacred Stones, easily replayable, and a great cast that makes you want to replay it. I love it to pieces, my favorite Fire Emblem game, and I will be talking about it on this channel a lot in the future. Limiting myself to 2 minutes is actually both really good for me and really bad, because I'm trying to prioritize what I need to say, but I have a lot to say, and I don't shut the hell up ever. So, What was that other game that made me love bittersweet stories? Simple. Final Fantasy X. Oh, man. 10 is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best turn-based JRPGs ever made. You'll notice that I already, at this point, have... Oh god, hold on. I messed up a stopwatch app on my phone. I'm an idiot. I really like turn-based JRPGs, and Final Fantasy X's placing heavy emphasis on turn order and the manipulation of it really does let it carve itself a little niche among other Final Fantasy games. It's really fun to play around with the sphere grid, leveling up your characters differently, and the story is fantastic. Titus is one of my favorite characters, and I am so happy the internet has stopped being like, the laughing scene is bad, and have come to appreciate Titus for himself. And then you've got all kinds of other great characters. Wakka, Auron, Yuna, like they're all great. I love them to death. The world of Spira is very good, well-defined, and again, it's bittersweet. Final Fantasy X does not exactly have a happy tone, it doesn't exactly have a light beat ending, but because of that, I found myself, and Sacred Stones, those are the two games I played a lot as a kid, it made me come to appreciate bittersweet stories that remind us that life is sad, life is angry, there are things that you just can't fix, but you gotta move on, if for no one else other than yourself. It's such a good story, the music is good, and Blitzball is the most fun minigame in any video game ever. I think I spent more time playing Blitzball than I did playing Final Fantasy X. God, soccer is boring as shit, but if they played it underwater and let you beat the shit out of your opponents, it would be a really good game. God, I love Final Fantasy X. You know, I don't even mind that Final Fantasy X-2 exists. It's a fun game. I just don't really like what it does to Titus. They should not have brought Titus back to life. He should be a dream. Anyways, next game. As you can see, these are all incredibly great JRPGs, most of which with very sad stories and very intricate characters. The punchline to this is I'm putting Sonic the Hedgehog next. Sonic Adventure 2, baby. I'm gonna put Battle, because that's the one I played as a kid. I love this game. I'm struggling to figure out what to start with. First of all, the story is really enjoyable. The lore behind Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 builds on each other. It expands what was already there. It gives a great backstory and motivation for Eggman, and it's just amazing. On top of that, the gameplay is super fun. I thoroughly enjoy Sonic and Shadow's speed stages, they're a ton of fun. Eggman and Tails' shmup stages are also really great. Knuckles and Rouge's treasure hunting stages are really fun to master, except Mad Space, that level can choke on my nuts. Just everything about Sonic Adventure 2 is some of the best the platforming genre has to offer. I adore so many stages I love to replay. City Escape, Metal Harbor, Prison Lane, Wild Canyon, not Death Chamber, that one's good, but it's like Meteor Herd. Like, just so much of that game is fun, and I find myself replaying it constantly. It's just some of the best platforming out there, and being a Sonic fan on the internet is painful. I'm a Fire Emblem fan on the internet, that's also painful. But nothing will ever convince me that Sonic Adventure 2 is bad. Game Grumps have tried, Pro Jared has tried. They're not gonna make me hate you. You are just such a fun game. I love Sonic Adventure 2. Go play it. Right now. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This game is great and worth every penny of your time. I streamed it a long-ass time ago, if you want to find that. I think the whole thing is on YouTube. Definitely worth it. I also play it to 100% completion. Like, apparently not many people do. It is really fun to 100%. Except Mad Space. Alright. So those are the top 5. I feel very confident those are my top 5 games ever made. I have 20 more games I need to pick. So, I think I know what one of them's gonna be. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, baby? Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I made a review of this game a while ago. It is one of the best 2D platformers ever made. Alright? The diversity and the level design is just insane. Like, sure, you have your forest level, your water level, your fire level, but it takes it beyond that so far. The game is just oozing charm and good level design from start to finish. All 3 of the Kongs feel useful and fun to have on DK's back. The music, phenomenal. And the difficulty is good. It is not too easy, because Donkey Kong's always been known to be tricky. And the hard levels are hard, but you never feel like it's unfair. You never feel like you are going into this game and it's just bullcrap. Perfect platforming, perfect charm. It is just a 2D platformer that everyone should try. My only problem with it is that it's been the only Donkey Kong game for 10 years. Where the hell is the next one, Nintendo? Nintendo, when I find you, Nintendo, I am going to rip your life from my hands. Because, God, everything in this is just platforming perfection. The insanity in the minecart levels, the rocket barrel levels are also a frantic mess. It's fast, it's precise, it's slow, it's rewarding. It is everything a platformer can be. If I could play no other 2D platformer in my life, it would probably be Tropical Freeze. Or another game I'm going to talk about later. Hoo-hoo, keeping you in suspense. God, I fucking love monkeys. I don't know, I never know if monkeys are my favorite animal because I love Donkey Kong, or if I love Donkey Kong because monkeys are my favorite animal. It's a conundrum I'll never have the answer to. Okay. Next game. I had it. I literally knew exactly what was... Oh, right. God, this is a franchise that I love and have not been able to talk about enough. Tales of Vesperia, baby. I love the Tales of franchise. Constant banger characters, constant banger gameplay. And Vesperia, I had the original on 360. That was a fun game. Thankfully, it's more largely available now and not stuck on the 360. So what is Tales of Vesperia? It's an action JRPG that essentially has a Smash Brothers-esque control scheme, even though Tales of did this before Smash Brothers, where, you know, your B button is a special attack, side B button's another special up B, etc., and it's an action JRPG. It is so much fun to get combos going. The instant kill moves are always satisfying to pull off. Whenever you see that little arrow, perfection. And the story and characters really shine. To put it in perspective, Tales of, for a while, would have a character poll where every year they would ask fans, who's your favorite Tales of character? Yuri Lowell, the main character of Vesperia, was banned because he won every single year. Even long after his recency bias faded, he was still the most popular. People love Yuri, and I'm no different. Remember I said Erica was my 3rd or 4th favorite character of all time? Yuri's my 2nd. I absolutely love Yuri Lowell, and everyone around him is great too. Carol has a fantastic bit of character development as the game goes on. Estelle is also really nice and well developed. Flynn is a perfect foil to Yuri. Raven is great, even if they do make an obnoxious amount of "you're so old, Raven" jokes when he's only in his 30s. Rita's great, Rapide's great, and he's just a dog. Judith, just the whole game is full of wonderful characters, wonderful gameplay, and I love it to pieces. The Definitive Edition port that's on Switch and modern consoles has a few problems, but not enough to outweigh the fact that you should play this game. I love Tales of, and I don't know if this is going to be the only Tales of game on the list. We'll see. God, so many JRPGs I want to talk about. Maybe I should just become a JRPG channel that occasionally has Sonic the Hedgehog videos. I mean, that's what I'm doing now, really. Speaking of JRPGs, you might notice I am wearing a shirt that has a spiky-haired little boy on it. I think it's about time we talk about that aforementioned spiky-haired little boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Kingdom Hearts 2. Everyone talks about this game like it's one of the greatest games ever made. They're correct. Kingdom Hearts 2 is action gameplay at its almost finest, on critical mode. When you actually have to use all of its mechanics, knowing when to dodge, when to block, when to use certain magic, when to save items, when to use healing magic, when to use certain other triangle command abilities, it is some of the most fun and action-packed gameplay that the JRPG genre has to offer. Combine that with a story that is good, alright? People say, Kingdom Hearts bullshit. Alright, let me tell you something. Kingdom Hearts bullshit is Final Fantasy bullshit. And Final Fantasy bullshit and Disney bullshit are closer than you might think. Oh man, why did kissing Snow White bring her back to life? I don't fucking know, it's Disney bullshit. How did Sid survive jumping out of a ship in Final Fantasy IV and blowing himself up in a volcano? Who gives a shit? It's Final Fantasy bullshit. Kingdom Hearts is ridiculous. It is crazy. They try to make you think Goofy died from a pebble. It's the craziest shit, and it's funny. The gameplay is super tight. The characters are great. To this day, I still love Sora, Roxas, Kairi, Axel, Riku. God, Riku is so cool. I love them all. I am eagerly awaiting Kingdom Hearts 4, and honest to God, Kingdom Hearts 2, it deserves all the love that it gets. If you haven't played it yet, the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise is so easy to get. It's so easy to find. Buy the Story So Far collection. Buy the complete collection with 3 on it. You're in for a good time. I love Kingdom Hearts. God bless. Such a fun game. I need to take a drink because my throat is dying. Okay. Now what? Okay. As you can tell, a whole lot of JRPGs, a whole lot of platformers. Let's have more platformers. Banjo Tooie, baby. Everyone talks to death about Banjo Kazooie, right? It's the greatest Nintendo 64 platformer ever made. And it is. It is really good. Banjo Tooie is one of those perfect sequels. Everything Banjo Kazooie does is done better in Banjo Tooie, and I am not afraid to say that. The level designs are so creative and varied. Cloud Cuckoo Land, the dinosaur world, I haven't played this game in a few years, so I'm blanking on some of the names. I love Banjo Tooie. Its sense of humor and charm, off the charts. I still remember several jokes from this game to this day, and they still make me giggle. The new abilities you get on top of the ones you got from Kazooie lead to so many varied ways to get your collectibles. I think, and the music is also really good. I believe it's Grant Kirkhope? Might be David Wise. I never want to confuse the two of them, but sometimes I might. Banjo Tooie is just such a good game. It's harder to get than Kazooie because it hasn't been re-released on anything other than Rare Replay in the last, 10 years. It was on Xbox Live Arcade, and I think that's the last it's been available. Again, outside of Rare Replay. It is such a fun game, and I cannot wait for it to be on Switch Online, so I can do the UFO shooting minigame again. That was always a lot of fun. God, Witchy Land was great, Glitter Gulch Mine was great. This game was great. I love Banjo Tooie. Why can't we have another Banjo Kazooie game? I love Banjo Kazooie. I love Banjo Tooie. I love Gruntilda's Revenge, the Game Boy Advance Banjo Kazooie spinoff. Anyone ever play that? That was great too. I love collectathon platformers. I love being in a game and collecting shit. I just want more shit to collect. I love it so much. You know what? I'm gonna let that bleed into the next game. And I'm well aware I already put Tropical Freeze. It don't matter, Donkey Kong 64 is one of the greatest games ever made. I know people were like, ugh, 200 golden bananas, that's too much shit to collect. No, it wasn't enough. I love Donkey Kong 64. Much like Banjo Tooie, the charm is off the charts. Even though like Chunky, Diddy, Tiny, Lanky, and DK don't talk much, if at all, their animations do all the work for them, and their small voice clips that they do have. Traversing all 8 of the worlds is so much fun. Getting all these new power-ups, and then you get to go back to places you were before and use them to get bananas that you couldn't get to before. Super fun. The bosses are mostly also a lot of fun, which is kind of, it's typically a low point in platformers. Like, the boss fights in platformers usually suck. DK64s are great. I love them all. The music, again, fantastic. It's Donkey Kong. He always has good music. It really makes me sad that people like, I don't like switching between the 5 monkeys. I love switching between the 5 monkeys. You're telling me I'm playing as Lanky Kong and there's a Chunky Kong door over there? Sweet, let me go get Chunky and see what's over there. I love it. The late game mini games do suck donkey balls. Monkey balls. Why did I say donkey balls? I had the perfect... Oh, Donkey Kong. I am dumb, alright? I'm 2/3 of the way through this and I'm already losing my mind. I love Donkey Kong 64. It's a shame Rare just stopped doing 3D platformers after this. I miss you, DK64. I miss you, Donkey Kong, alright? Where's the other Donkey Kong game? Where? Nintendo, when I get you, Nintendo, I'm going to kill you. This is a real threat. Do not send bomb squads to my house, Nintendo. But make another Donkey Kong game. It is a threat. It's not a threat. It's a joke. But make another Donkey Kong game. I'm gonna kill you. Alright. We've had 2 quirked up platformers. So let's completely change the topic. Like 180, completely change the topic here. Y'all like Silent Hill? Silent Hill... not Restless Dreams. That's good, but that's not the game. I don't want all the Silent Hill games. Hang on. Silent Hill 2. I am a scaredy little bitch. I can't stomach horror. But Silent Hill 2 is just too good at what it does. The way that everything in the game... Also, remember I said at the beginning if I'm talking about spoilers for a game you haven't played yet? This is the main one. I have actually been avoiding spoilers for all these other games pretty well, I think. Other than talking about Titus. But Silent Hill 2 is the one I'm afraid of spoiling. Because the remake's coming out. I know a lot of people are going to experience it for the first time. So, if you're curious, skip this. The way that everything in the game relates back to the tragedy of James Sunderland and his wife. The way that there are so many little bits and secrets to help you get the track of the true story. And the way that Silent Hill 2 says, this is James Sunderland. He smothered his wife to death with a pillow. And I'm still like, but was he really a bad guy, though? If you walk away from Silent Hill 2 with the thought, James is a vicious murderer with no good parts of him whatsoever, or James is a goody two-shoes who did nothing wrong, those are both wrong. James Sunderland is my favorite character in video games, period, and the story of Silent Hill 2, and all the symbolism, not just for James Sunderland, but for Eddie, for Angela, for Maria, it is so good. The Abstract Daddy is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever experienced, and I mean that in a good way. Silent Hill 2 is a very downtrodden game. And, depending on your own choices, I love the ending system too. It can end with a little bit of hope. It can end with tragedy. It can end with tragedy in a different way. It can end with tragedy in a different way. Or it can end with aliens. Take your pick. And the gameplay is also really fun. I've been talking about this for a little over 2 minutes, it's fine. The gameplay is also really good. I don't like horror games too much, but the exploration and puzzle solving is great. Especially the Hangman puzzle. I really love that one's theme. It's good. Silent Hill 2 is a good game. I love it so much. Bloober is gonna fuck up the remake so bad. Oh, it's not gonna be good. Alright. Ooh. You guys like Italians? What about Italian-based platforming? Pizza Tower is so good. The gameplay is fast, but not absurdly fast. The stick to Pizza Tower is that you need to get through the levels while getting perfect ranks and everything. If you just play from the start of a level to the end, you're not getting the full experience. Pizza Tower is a masterpiece in balancing stress and not panicking. You can get hit and still achieve a P rank. You can take a ton of damage as long as you keep your cool and keep your combo going throughout Pizza Tower's plethora of really fun and unique levels. So many of that I love going through. Deep Dish 9. I love the Brick and Gustav levels. Brick, Gnome Forest and, Pig City. Refrigerator, also super fun. The Five Nights at Fazbear's level, super fun. Like, I love this game's creativity. Its art style is immaculate. I have a buddy of mine, John, who will not play the game because he thinks it's ugly. And John is a fool, because this game is beautiful. I love Peppino Spaghetti. I love his journey. I love this game. It is super creative, super fun. The music is immaculate. Like, by God, I could listen to this music for the rest of my life. It is so good. I love this game. It is amazing. Go buy it right now. It's probably only $20, and you're gonna get one of the most fun platforming experiences you could possibly ask for. It is just perfection incarnate. And with Ant and Blast coming out soon too, it's a good day for fast, speed-based platformers. And the noise update is really good, and it's free. It gives you a whole new game plus for free. God, I love this game. So good. Go play it. God, people who say gaming is dead are dumb. Like, two of my favorite games ever made came out last year. Like, God, games are so cool. Alright. Ladies and gents and others, you want to hear a fucking hot take? Something you've never ever heard before in your entire life? An opinion of mine that's gonna blow your mind. Did you know that Majora's Mask is better than Ocarina of Time? Ooh, I said it! Oh. Even though that take is as cold as the fucking Arctic, Majora's Mask is an amazing game. Majora's Mask takes the Zelda formula. You go into a dungeon, you get an item, you use the item to solve puzzles, and just puts it in the best world that Zelda has. Termina is such a fun world to explore, and playing with the 3 days until the apocalypse mechanic is just great. Seeing how these lives go on over and over again every 3 days, and Link being able to stick his hand in and intervene in all kinds of unique and fun ways, leads to such a good world. Anju and Cafe, fantastic quest. I cried at their final resolution. Anju getting stolen by aliens, really weird for a Zelda game. Who cares? It's really interesting in how it works if you don't go there to save her. All the different characters you meet along the way. The mask system is super fun to play with, even if some of them literally boil down to put on this mask, talk to this guy, get a piece of heart. I don't care if that's how a lot of them work. It is so much fun to go through the dungeons, to explore Termina. It is the best Zelda at adventuring for me. I know a lot of people like Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker or the original even, and all of them are great in their own merits. I do not think there is a bad Zelda game. It's just one of those franchises. And I love how much Termina feels alive. For a game about impending death, it is full of life. and I love it for that. So good. The music's great. It's Zelda. Again, I don't really even need to say that. It's just absolutely wonderful. God, and it gave us Tingle. How can the game that gave us Tingle be bad? Alright, you know what other franchise than Zelda doesn't have a bad game? Ratchet and Clank. And you know what the best Ratchet and Clank game is? Not Ratchet and Clank, that's for sure. It's Up Your Arsenal. Up Your Arsenal is such a fun experience. It's got so many great weapons. Sure, it's got, like, the ones that are in all of them, like the sniper rifle, the blaster, but it's just got so many great weapons of its own, great weapons that it brought back from other games, the liquid nitrogen gun, my beloved. It just has everything I want out of a Ratchet and Clank game, and it has amazing, it has an amazing story, too. Captain Quark's arc in this game is fantastic. The humor is more than on point. This is so good for a game that was rushed as hell in development. I think this game had, like, less than a year to be made. It's insane. So did Majora's Mask, though, and that's also peak fiction. It's just so much fun. The writing is consistently hilarious and heartfelt when it needs to be. It introduced Dr. Nefarious. Like, no game that introduced Dr. Nefarious is going to be a bad game. The Quark VidComic levels were a fun distraction. It's just so much fun. I love the entire Ratchet & Clank series. Even the worst Ratchet & Clank game is still a 7 out of 10. This is just a fun series that I strongly recommend, and Up Your Arsenal is the perfect send-off to the original PS2 trilogy. I forgot about Deadlocked. Deadlocked also is a good game, but it doesn't have & Clank in the title, so my statement about Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal being the send-off of the trilogy is great. Pick it up if you haven't already. I don't know how easy it is to get a hold of. I still have my PS2 copy and my PS3 collection copy. I should replay it again. You know what? I might go play that game right now after I'm done this. It's just so much fun, so creative, so funny, so smart. I love you, Up Your Arsenal. God, I love video games. Alright. Other than Ratchet & Clank, what's next here, huh? Trying to limit it down to just 25 games is insane. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of games that I genuinely love that I can't put on this list, and it's gonna hurt me. It's gonna hurt. But I know what to do next. Pokemon Black, baby! Alright, look. You might be thinking to yourself, oh geez, everyone loves Gen 5. I was in the trenches in school defending Gen 5, alright? People thought it was cringe. They thought the fact that they couldn't have Geodude ruined the Pokemon experience. They are wrong. Pokemon Unova, Black, White, Black 2, White 2, all incredible games. The Pokemon in them are some of my favorites. Bisharp, Darmanitan, Crocodile, Emboar, Mienshao, Druddigon, Haxorus. Haxorus is a dragon dinosaur with an axe for a face. How is that not the coolest thing ever made? The music is really good. The changes it made to the gameplay, like the shaking grass, the XP scaling for levels, all of it's so great. The difficulty is really fair. It is so good. The story is great. The characters are great. Pokemon Gen 5 has really done a 180 in the Pokemon community, and I could not be more thankful. I love pretty much every Pokemon game. Like, honest to God, from Gen 1 to current day, the only generation I don't like is 6. I love all of these games to pieces. Is Pokemon Gen 5 the best Pokemon has to offer? I don't know. I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are, like, if you were to put an objective best Pokemon game, it would probably be them. I just like Gen 5 more. I find its Pokemon more fun. I love Unova as a region. It's just so good. The only thing holding it back is it has hands down the worst arc of the anime attached to it, but you know, who cares? It's just such a good game, and God, I wish it could escape just the DS. This needs to be playable somewhere else. But Pokemon really has an availability problem. Nintendo. Nintendo, when I get you, Nintendo. Alright. So many great games, and I'm still excluding so many. Devil May Cry 3. Should it be 5? What's the better game, Devil May Cry 3 or Devil May Cry 5? Oh, which do I like more? I think 3, but that might just be nostalgia. Boy, it's a damn good game. Devil May Cry is just hack and slash perfection. It's just so good. The action, the way that the combo system works that incentivizes you to swap between all of your weapons to build up a good combo meter and just do crazy as shit combos. All of the weapons are great. Rebellion is really fun. Agni and Rudra are really fun. Cerberus is really fun. Beowulf is really fun. I'm too scared to learn Nevin, but it's probably really fun. And then the guns, Ebony and Ivory, Artemis, Spiral, Shotgun. So much fun to play around with. The story is really good, with Devil May Cry constantly being, like, in-your-face action. It'd be one thing if just Dante was silly and over-the-top. Everyone in Devil May Cry is silly and over-the-top. Lady, Virgil, Arkham, they're all ridiculous. And because of that, it really just helps it feel cool. There's never a moment where they're like, what the scallop is Dante doing? Cringe trying to be cool? No, he's just cool. Because Devil May Cry 3 plays it so straight, despite the objectively ridiculous shit happening, it feels genuine, and it's a lot of fun to watch the cutscenes for it. The bosses are all mostly great. Actually, I say mostly. I can't think of any that I don't like. Doppelganger kind of sucks. But just the game is so much fun. The styles are a lot of fun to play around with. It's just such a good action title. Go play the Devil May Cry games. It's only 5 of them. All 5 of them are good in their own right. Even 2. Devil May Cry 2 isn't a bad game. It's just the other ones are better. It's just Devil May Cry 3 is so good. I love it to death. I replay it constantly, and I think it's due for a replay soon. Such a fun game. Speaking of game series that I absolutely love playing, absolutely adore replaying, and have a second entry that kind of sucks compared to all the others, Dark Souls. Dark Souls helps me fulfill my innermost desire of fighting something with a big stick. Dark Souls' world and characters are so depressing and bleak, and I love it for that. Its gameplay is so much fun, with every build being so much fun to play around with. You have, you know, your dexterity builds, your strength builds, your faith builds, intelligence. Whatever you do in Dark Souls can be fun in its own way. The world is so much fun to explore, with it constantly, like, looping back around and on itself in all kinds of fun ways. There are a ton of great bosses. Quelaag, the Bell Gargoyles, even the basic ones, like the Tartarus Demon. Just all of which so much fun. It's endlessly replayable, so much stuff to explore, so much stuff to learn about it, even on your, like, 10th playthrough. I love Dark Souls. It has this reputation of being hard as hell. I really don't think it is. Dark Souls, the problem is people think dying equals hard, and you die in Dark Souls a lot, but that's the design philosophy. Dying a lot in Dark Souls doesn't mean you suck at it. It means you're playing Dark Souls. It is an incredibly fun game. You can still pick it up incredibly easily right now, and I strongly recommend that you go do it. It is such an amazing game. And if nothing else, when you go through it, build a strength build. I know I said the freedom of the builds was like its strength, but strength is its strength. Strength builds are the correct way to play every Dark Souls game. You go find the really big stick that has better strength scaling than the incredible swords, and then you go beat Gwyn in the face with it. That's a good game. God, Souls games are great. I need to replay Elden Ring for the DLC. Alright. God, almost there. There are so many games. Like, for what's with all of these games also represent like 5 others I could have picked. Like, you saw Devil May Cry 3 or 5, Octopath Traveler 1 was a contender, Dragon Quest 11 and 1, also really great games, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 3, Tales of Arise, like, all of these could represent entire franchises full of games that I love. How have I gotten this far and not put a Metroid game yet? Alright. There is hot debate in how you spell Metroid correctly. What is the superior game series? 3D Metroid or 2D Metroid? The correct answer is Metroid Prime. But the secret second, more sinister correct answer is that I like Prime 2 more than Prime 1. Metroid Prime 2 is hard. I thoroughly enjoy the game for its difficulty. But good God, is its world amazing. Helping the Luminoths is a nice change of pace for how Samus is usually completely alone on the planets she goes to. The Dark World, Light World switch is really fun for me, exploring both versions of this planet, while the planet's air can kill you. Just leads to so much tense gameplay. It's mostly building off of Prime's engine, so a lot of the good stuff from Prime carries over here too. The boost ball segments, the spider ball, the different missiles. It's just so much fun to go through. I thoroughly enjoy Echoes, even if sometimes the difficulty can be a little much. Boost Guardian is a very pain-in-the-ass fight, but it's not enough to detract from a very nice world with very neat lore for the Metroid series. It does what a good sequel should. Build off its predecessor, and look beyond that. I thoroughly enjoy Metroid Prime 2, and I'm hoping if the random Prime remaster on Switch is any indication, that this game's gonna get a remaster too. More people need to play it. Hell, they could put online multiplayer for it. I never played the multiplayer, but I'd be better than you at it. It is so much fun. It has Dark Samus. Yeah, Dark Samus is from this game. This is where she came from. Or it came from. I don't really think the Metroid Prime has a gender. I think it's just an agender blob of evil. Basically, go play Metroid Prime 2. It's a really good game. I love Metroid so much. Alright. God damn it, I knew the next game I wanted to put, and now I've lost it. I knew exactly what I wanted to... Oh, I remember! Alright. I love Mario Party. Where is... Here it is. Actually, I'm gonna put 6. Let it be known, every Mario Party can be interchangeable with itself. Mario Party is the ultimate game for my friends and I. My buddies John, Chris, Josh, Leland, Walter. I have so many memories of playing Mario Party with them. God, we used to meet up every week, and it was almost every other week the topic would become Mario Party. God, watching Chris just go red with anger whenever he gets absolutely screwed. The fact that I would bitch the entire game about bad luck and then I would win anyway. So satisfying. I have so many memories of all of these games with that group of friends. So if any of you guys are watching this video, I love you guys. Thank you very much for making this game series so much fun to play. And we still do it to this day. We were just playing Mario Party 3, like 3 weeks ago. It was just John, Chris, and I. And the AI Daisy, on the second turn of the game, got a hidden block and got the item to set the turn count to 5, and she used it. We played a 7-game turn of Mario Party. It was hilarious. But why am I choosing 6 specifically? Way back, when I was 19 or 20, this was a while ago, the boys did a 50-turn Mario Party, and whoever won got this really cool custom-made belt that Chris and John worked really hard to make. And I want you to know that game was Mario Party 6. And I want you to guess which one of the boys won the 50-turn Mario Party extravaganza. This guy. But again, 6 could be any of them. The entire series is this spot. I can't pick a real favorite. I have memories of all of them. Except, like, 9 and 10, obviously, but I don't think we played much 5. Huh. Anyways. God, I love playing games with my friends. Speaking of, we gotta do another one of them. Yeah, Super Smash Brothers. Again, I'm gonna put Ultimate. Again, it's whatever is out at the time. This one, I have, different friends that I played this one with. My buddy Andre, who I love to death. Andre, if you're watching this, you're incredible. I played that with my buddies Andre, Ryan, Travis, Drew. God. It's not complicated, right? Like, what can you say about Smash Brothers? I can play as Donkey Kong, and I can punch Sonic the Hedgehog in the face while Zero Suit Samus is ready to shoot me in the back. It is so much fun to just get on the couch with your friends and play the game. I got, again, a lot of memories with this game, of all of them. Smash 4 and Ultimate, specifically, are my most beloved. God, if you want to know how good I am at Smash Brothers, I'm trying to remember the hierarchy here. Andre has a buddy named Trent, who is vastly better than him, and can go to locals and actually win some games. Andre is not as good as him, but can keep up with him. I am not as good as Andre, but I can keep up with Andre. So I am a bit removed from a dude that can kind of do pretty okay at locals. So basically, I'm the next MK Leo. It's just a fun party game. So many memories of me dying, looking at Andre and going, what the fuck was that shit? And he goes, you shouldn't have tried that. And the thing I tried was jumping. God, if you're wondering what my main is Donkey Kong. However, all of my friends tell me that I play Rob really well. So, who knows? It's Donkey Kong or Rob. One of those two. And I love this game. I need to play it more often. It's been a while, actually. Maybe next time I see Andre, I'll tell him to fire it up. Go Kong on Kong. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. Gotta get a drink of water. How have I not put a Mario platformer? All these platformers I put on here. And nothing from Mario. Alright. Super Mario Sunshine is a broken mess. Half the shit in it don't work right. Its physics engine is wonky as shit. It can be incredibly frustrating, but it's the best goddamn Mario platformer out there. The charm in the world is immaculate. Isle Delfino is just somewhere I want to be. The FLUDD platforming and all the ways that they use his water pack is absolutely fun to play around with. The secret levels where you lose FLUDD and have to just Mario platform like a real man, also really fun. I'm a Chuckster is still something that I see shit posts about to this day, and I love it. It's just such a fun game. Like all the collectathon platformers on this list, and by all of them, I mean 2 of them, unless you count Sonic and the Emblems. I just like collecting shit. I like starting with 0 shine sprites, and then ending the game with 100 and some change, because I complete all of the missions, and then start to go for the blue coins, and then get bored and no longer go for the blue coins. I just love the worlds. Rico Harbor, Sierra Beach, Pinup Park, Noki Bay, Pianta Village, what was the first? Why am I blanking on the first world's name? It's great, too. Again, it could be any Mario game here. Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey, Mario Wonder. There are just a ton of great Mario platformers, and all of them are worth playing. Sunshine's the one that I grew up with, so there's probably a lot of nostalgia bias there. And it definitely is. It is not the best Mario game, but it's the best Mario game to me. And that's what matters most, because I'm the one making a video about it. Remember, my birthday, you can't bully me. Okay, only four more games? I have so much stuff I want to talk about. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, and those falling outside the gender binary, Kazuma Kiryu. I have dipped my toes in the Yakuza franchise. I have played 0, Kiwami 1 and 2, and 3. I love them to death. These are Japanese dramas, alright? That's what they are. Yeah, the beat-em-up gameplay is nice. Picking up weapons and beating them up is great. Picking up guns and shooting... Yeah, the gameplay is fine. The reason that these games have such a strong following is the emotional core of the drama. Kazuma Kiryu is just such a great character. The heart behind him, the plights that he goes through are great. Goda is a fantastic antagonist. Kiryu's romance in this game is also very sweet. It's just Haruka's great. Everything in the Yakuza games I've played so far are great. Kiwami 2 is my favorite, just because I like its main story the second most of the three. I think Yakuza 3 has the best story, but its main story is great. Its side stories are great with the Cabaret Club. I don't give a shit about, like, Barbie dress-up things. I'm a master at that Cabaret Club minigame. Yeah, I'm just better than you at it. The tower defense with Majima's also a lot of fun. And the sub-stories are the dumbest, shittiest jokes. And that's why they're so funny. Anytime Kazuma Kiryu starts a sentence by going, "Heh," it's the unfunniest shit you're ever gonna hear come out of his mouth. And that's why I love him. He is Japanese Hank Hill. I'm not going to elaborate on that. But if you haven't played Yakuza yet, you can get, like, the whole series very cheap. Except 7 and 8. 7 and 8 will still run you a pretty penny. But I already have Yakuza 4 and 5. I'm gonna continue my journey soon. But if all you've seen about Yakuza are, like, the jokey shitpost scenes, they're great. Just know there's a real heart to these games that makes all of them worth playing. Yakuza, how I love you. Alright. We're gonna jump into another game that I've only recently gotten into. The Trails franchise. Is this Trails to Azure? Yes. So, what is the Trails franchise? The Trails franchise is actually 4 or 5 other franchises in a trench coat. Basically, it starts as your traditional turn-based JRPG. You move around on a grid, you use special attacks or spells, and you go through a charming JRPG story. That is Trails in the Sky. Then, there's Trails. Then there's a Legend of Heroes, the Trails to Zero and Trails to Azure, which is another country that was talked about in Sky that's just slightly to the north of the country Sky's from. Then, there's Trails of Cold Steel, which is the big bad empire that's been causing problems for the entire first 5 Trails games, and now you play in that world for 4 games. The Sky games are 3 games. The Crossbell games, which is what Azure is, are 2 games. Cold Steel, 4 games. Then there's like an interim game, and then there's the Daybreak games for, fuck, what the hell was to the east of Crossbell? Calvard Republic. That's like 4 games. This story is the One Piece of JRPGs. Scrimblow Bimblow McPoop Shitto from Sky will come back in Cold Steel 3, and you're gonna lose your mind. All of these games build on each other. Every individual arc has its own cast, and these casts will intermingle with each other when it matters. And everything is so good. The gameplay is fun, but that's not the draw. The draw is watching the incredible writing, these great characters bounce off of one each other, bounce off of the world, and create this continuous narrative that's been going on for 20 years. I am mostly caught... I'm not caught up. I'm 2 games behind right now. I finished all 3 Sky games, both Crossbell games, and 3 of the Cold Steel games. I still need to do Cold Steel 4, whatever the interim game is, and then Daybreak's coming out soon. I know I just talked about the Trails franchise instead of Trails to Azure, and I get that, but just trust me, I love that game's cast the most. Lloyd Banning, it became one of my favorite game characters ever. Randy's great. Ellie is amazing. Teotot, I love her, she is daughter. Wazi is just so great. You talk about gay rights for so long, Wazi is here to discuss gay wrongs, and I love him for that. God, Noelle's there. Oh god, everything is good about that game. I love it to death. Alright, almost there. I went off on that one a little bit longer. God, only 2 more games allowed. So many games I want to talk about. So many great games that I want to share with you all. Alas and alack, it's time to talk. Again, I just had the game and I lost it. God, trying to limit yourself to only 25 games is a nightmare. What was it? I was ready. I had the next game I wanted to talk about loaded and ready to go. I'm looking around the posters on my room, and Crollo Lucifer from Hunter x Hunter is not what I'm looking for. God. I hate myself right now. I only need 2 more games, and I'm done, and I'm just blanking on Shining Force! God, that was what I wanted. Shining Force. This game is responsible for all of my love of Shining, of, like, strategy RPGs. Shining Force is a turn-based RPG on the Sega Genesis, which has incredibly fun writing, incredibly dark writing when it needs it, and gameplay that is Dragon Quest in grid form. That is what Shining Force is. It has crazy monsters. It has, like, your traditional JRPG leveling up spell system you promote is really great. Incredible diversity in its class and world design. Things like your cavalry aren't men and women on horseback, they're literal centaurs. Elves are your mages, because of course they are. You have samurai in there for no reason. You have robots, because robots are cool. You have whatever the fuck yogurt is. Everything about this game is amazing. I love it to death. The thing that's not amazing is its map design. Its map design is kind of garbage. But who cares? Fire Emblem spoils people into thinking that the strategy RPG genre has map design. It doesn't. Y'all wouldn't survive like Disgaea and shit. Anyways, Shining Force is wonderful. It's very charming, very fun. I replayed a lot. I have a Let's Play of it on the channel that's worth watching because I said that it is. It is absolutely peak. I love it to death, and I want the series to come back. It's been a while since Shining Resonance Refrain. Give me another Shining game. They're fun. They're good. I love me my strategy RPGs. So good. Alright. God, only one more. God, God, there are like 3 or 4 other Final Fantasy games I could put here. Like, so many Fire Emblem games I could put. Tales of Arise and Tales of Xillia 2 I could put. So many great games. But what's the 25th? Alright, Steven, you are 27 years old. In your 27 years of life, what game that has shaped you as a person is missing from this list? Alright, look. I am a grown man. Okay, let's just preface this. I am a grown adult. Okay? As a grown adult, I should be allowed to like games that have content that the average person might look at me weird for liking. The kind of content that you wouldn't want to show to children. The kind of content that, if you bring it up in public conversation, you're a weirdo. Alright? I just want this to be a judgment-free zone. Okay? League of Legends. Alright, before you beat me to death with hammers, this game shaped who I was. So many games I've played with my friends Josh, Andre, Ryan, Christian, Colton, Adam, Stefan, Kin. So many great games. So many people I've met playing League are my closest friends to this day. It's just so good, man. When you play with friends. I will never play League of Legends by myself. But God, so many fun moments. Me being delirious at 4 a.m. playing Garen against a Teemo and just bodying him. And I just kept calling him Timothy for some reason. Going down in bot lane as Nautilus with my buddy Josh as ADC. Just hooking them. Beating their ass cheeks. Going mid lane as Vigar. And going 20-2 with a million ability power in 15 minutes. I just love League of Legends so much. It goes in ebbs and flows. Right now, I haven't played League of Legends in like a month. And then next month, Kin will go up and she'll be like, hey guys, sick new patch just dropped. I'm gonna try to play Kindred in the bot lane. And we'll just go, yes, Kin. And we'll all do whatever the fuck she wants. And it's gonna be great. This is one of my favorite games to play with friends. It's not great if you get easily rattled. The community is dog shit. I can't act like it's not. But man, when you're playing with friends, it just hits right. God. I just want you to know, though, I've been playing the game for about 6 years, and I still don't own Fizz as a champion. I will never own Fizz as a champion. If you play that fish, you will not see the pearly gates. Simple as. So, there you have it. I love video games. Feel free to let me know what you think of my games, what I've said, and have a lovely Saturday. At this current moment, when I'm uploading this, I am going to be at my friend John's, celebrating my birthday by playing mini golf and Mario Party. It's gonna be a good day. God, I'm 27 years old. Feels like I've lived so much life, but I'm still so young. I can't wait to see what dog shit opinions I get in the future.